Hello and welcome to part 2 of our conversation with StuffForGreeks.com founder Ethan King. Today, Ethan tells us how his graphic design business dealt with growing pains, Ethan's 4 core values when it comes to business, and Ethan's 3 rules for aspiring entrepreneurs. So keep it right here on the Peak Performers Podcast.
Welcome to this edition of Peak Performers Podcast with your host, Thor Conklin. Thor will be sharing the necessary tools, strategies, and psychology you'll need to become a peak performer in any area of your life or business.
You bought the building. It's got trees growing in it. How did you create what is today Zeus's Closet?
Well, it was a combined vision with me and Monica, my wife. She is an interior designer. It's kind of her side hustle. She has a very cool knack for designing interior spaces. She also has some big name clients under her belt. But we literally drew it up from scratch. We hired an architect and ended up just kind of piecing it together because the first architect didn't work out, and then the other ones were too expensive. We had ran out of money. So we literally just cut and paste paper together with the contractor. That, you know, they were so humble and happy to help us out. And we just made the dream come to life with that. And it has a really cool look to it. We get lots of compliments on the office. It's a very open, lofty, modern space. So that's how Zeus's Closet came to be. It's still there now. It's our flagship store, and we are in the process of actually franchising that model.
Wow, that's awesome. What's next?
Well, this is our first foray into the world of franchising, but there's a lot of paperwork. We decided to go with an attorney that was recommended to us by a fellow EOer, and it's been a great experience so far. I would give this advice to any business owner, even if you aren't thinking about franchising, just going through the process of franchising your business, because you have to package it into something that you can sell over and over again. We literally have to take all of our processes, all this accumulation of things that we've been doing over the past 8 years, and put it into one operations manual that we could hand to a franchisee and give them some training and say, okay, this is how you run it. It's basically like writing the Bible for your business. And that sounds a lot easier said than done, until I guarantee if you ask most people to do that for their business, it is a huge task. It's a major undertaking.
And most entrepreneurs don't have the patience for that because they're kind of the creative people, and it's sitting down and writing the procedures. You might as well just kill them.
Right. But it makes, in the end, even if you decide not to franchise your business, it still makes it such a more well-oiled machine. Just to have those systems and processes in place, think about how easy it is then to hire somebody and just plug them in and say, okay, here's what you do. And it just makes your business truly a machine, and you are a business owner. Your business should be like a washing machine. Like we don't, this day and age, we don't stand there scrubbing our clothes on the washboard anymore. We just put them in the washing machine, we put in the detergent, and we press a button, right? Well, your business should really be the same way. You shouldn't be, as a business owner, you shouldn't be the one doing the work in the business. It should be a machine that does the work for you.
Well, I contend that most people don't own their business owns them.
Exactly.
And it's as a result of not having these procedures. Now, tell us some of the lessons. You've built this thing into a multi-million-dollar company. Great to hear where it started from. What are some of the lessons that you've learned along the way? What have been some of the successes? What have been some of the oops? What would you tell people out there that are trying to go through the same journey that you just went through?
So many lessons along the way. Well, one we already touched on. Don't be afraid to say yes first and then figure it out later. At least for me, the pressure of, hey, someone's giving me money, I got to do this right. I'm never going to take advantage of anyone. It forces me to figure it out and to learn once I know that, hey, I owe someone something on this and I got to make this right. And then once you learn that and you have the proven model, someone's giving you money for it already versus the other way around. Because what most people do when they want to step out and open their own business is they worry about all the paperwork first and making sure they have everything registered, and then they invest all this time in building a website, and then they build all these products, and they have all this inventory before they even know if anybody even wants the thing that they're selling. So I've always had a tendency to do it the other way around. That's the number one advice I would give people. But at the same time, that part of my personality has kind of gotten me in trouble, in hot water. And even with, like, we had to fight a lawsuit a few years ago. It was a very unfair lawsuit. It was kind of abusive, and we weren't the only ones involved in it. But I can't talk about it in detail. But there was an institution that decided to sue a lot of companies due to a loophole in the license agreement. And it was really, in my opinion, it was kind of an abusive tactic to just extract money from small businesses. But we ended up fighting it, and it was a very, very scary time. Probably lost about $300,000 when it's all said and done, between legal fees and lost sales and just the time and distraction. It was like 8 months of hell. But what I learned from that is, if you get a letter from an attorney, even if you know that you're in the right, you still need to respond to that letter and act very humble with that attorney, because they can make your life a living hell.
Yes, they can. I like that. Well said. Were you always that calm about the situation? You approached that very, when you get in it. Were you a little bit more emotional at some point?
I was very emotional. I mean, I'm speaking from hindsight now, so I can say it calm. But I was very nervous. And we saw some of our competitors who also got sued by the same organization. We saw them go out of business. And that really makes you nervous when you're on the battlefield and you see other people falling down, dying right next to you. How nervous does that make you, right? You're like, okay, I need to figure out what's going on here and make some changes very quickly.
Yeah, sometimes in life and in business, it's tough going up against that bigger opponent that is better funded. They've got deeper pockets, and they can make your life miserable if you can't find a way to figure out how to settle it, fairly. Otherwise, they'll just keep coming at you.
Yep.
Tell us some of the core beliefs that you have in business and your life that keep you going, keep you motivated, even in times when things are looking a little bleak.
Core beliefs. I would say that my main core belief is that if someone else can do it, then I can do it. And if someone else lived through it and survived, then I can live through it and survive. So what I tend to do is whatever situation or challenge I'm dealing with, I say, okay, well, someone under the sun has encountered this before. Who is it, and how did they handle it? And then I go out and I find every piece of material I can, books, podcasts, interviews, YouTube videos, and just really try to absorb how that person handled it. Because outside of someone just being physically in a different position than I am, like, let's say, I don't think I could go out and be a better basketball player than Michael Jordan, because he's physically made up differently. But now I would think if I were the exact same size and frame as Michael Jordan, then I would think in my mind I can be just as good as him. But when it comes to like the business world, I look at everyone out there and I think, well, they can do it, I can do it. It's just the knowledge and the tools and the application that's different. There's nothing else stopping me.
What's some of the best advice you've received in business?
Best advice I received in business. It would be to focus on company culture first. To make sure you have a set of core values that your company lives by, and to put those core values everywhere and make sure that your team knows them like the back of their hand. For the longest time, we were running our company without core values. I learned about core values through EO, and and I thought it was very corny at first when we first started. I was like, this is the corniest thing in the world. But one of my mentors said, just do it. It makes all the difference in the world. So we came up with our core values, which are promises, accuracy, logic, and systems. So it forms an acronym, PALS, P-A-L-S. And I introduced it to my team. We put it up everywhere. They thought it was weird and corny. I thought it was weird and corny. We even wrote a creed. We have a company creed that we recite at every staff meeting. I don't know it by heart, but we all recite it it's written down. And it felt so weird. It felt like we were in church, but We started doing that, I would say, like 6 years ago, and it made all the difference in the world. And now we live by that. We have wristbands with the core values. We have it up on the wall, on the TVs. It's everywhere, and it truly is. We make all decisions by our core values. We hire and fire based on it. When people don't match up to the core values, even the team members will communicate with us and say, hey, they're not living by the core values. Maybe they should be replaced. I mean, it just made all the difference in the world. So I'm so glad that I did that.
It is a game changer. Even if you're a solopreneur and it's just you, get your core values together, put them on the wall, literally put them on the wall. You can go to Canvas, Canvas. It's a very inexpensive. They put it on a canvas for you. It looks great. Goes up on the wall. Use a PDF or a JPEG. They'll just create it for you. I just had one done for a client, and literally today we're doing a turnaround with this client. And today there was a meeting, and I had to point to the core values on the wall, and I said, It says, be nice and play fair. And they were like, okay. I'm like, you weren't being too nice, or were you? They're like, no, okay. And then again, at the end of the meeting, somebody else did something else. I pointed to another one. There on the wall. Like, okay. It is so important, and it helps guide every single thing that you do. Don't wait till you have an organization to create them. If there's just you, create them and put them on the wall. Who's holding you accountable? Many will answer, myself. Well, that only goes so far. You'll do more for others than you'll do for yourself. If you're not getting the results that you want, need, and desire, it comes down to your accountability. If you're ready to stop dabbling and really play full out, head on over to thorconklin.com and under services, check out our real accountability system. This is not for the timid or weak of heart. This is only for those individuals that are truly committed to taking their game to the next level.
Let me kind of explain, because I just named our core values, but this first one is promises. I keep promises to the customers, to the company, and to the team by any means necessary. We always keep our promises. We put accuracy first in everything we do. We strive to be error-free and never settle for mediocrity. We use deductive logic to create the best solution for any curveball that may be thrown our way. And we create and live by systems to do the work in the most consistent and efficient way possible. And we document these systems step by step to make the workflow easy for the next person. And the thing about core values is when your team is faced with decisions, you have to give them the authority to take action. They can take it on their own without having to ask you, as long as their actions align with your core values.
Makes a lot of sense. Mine is actually done. I frame it as a identity piece, and it's URPC bar. It's urgency, right thing, problem solver, communicate consistently, constantly. Best, do your best. A, accountable. R, respect others the way they want to be treated.
Very good.
No matter what yours are, get them, put them up on the wall. All right, so that was some of the best advice. What's some of the worst advice you've ever been given in business? And you didn't know it was bad until you actually tried it, and it was like, whoops, that's not good.
So when we were younger, again, when we had bad company culture, I always struggled with kind of trusting employees sometimes. And we had one employee who we were going through a rough patch, and cash flow was kind of tight. So we said, hey, we asked our team, we said, hey, would you guys be willing to work basically one fewer day a week? Basically take a furlough and work 4 days a week and take a 20% pay cut. And everybody kind of agreed to it. And they were kind of happy about it because it was the summertime, so they got 3-day weekends. So they were willing to do it for the short term, except for one employee who decided that she was going to go and research all this stuff with the Department of Labor and why that was unacceptable, and we owed her all this money. And so we're like, okay, we didn't know how to take it. We felt like she was kind of threatening us. So in a staff meeting, I brought it up in front of everyone and really, really embarrassed this employee. It was totally not the thing you want to do. But I didn't see that at the time. She was so embarrassed that she went and started giving all of our secrets to one of our competitors. And I found this out because she had like left her chat window open on her computer one day, and I just saw her like telling our competitor all of this stuff, and it infuriated me. I was so mad about it for just the longest time. I was just obsessed with what did she tell them, and we saw them implementing stuff that we did, and at the time we didn't have the non-competes. I mean, but I was just like really mad, and I don't know if somebody gave me that advice. I mean, I had to get the idea from somewhere, but I would say the worst advice would be to humiliate an employee who pisses you off. That's the last thing you want to do. The last thing you want to do is humiliate an employee about anything. I mean, you want to praise in public and reprimand in private. And I did the opposite. So that would be the worst advice.
What's your biggest weakness?
My biggest weakness is lack of consistency.
What?
Yeah.
Come on, you?
No, when I say, maybe consistency isn't the right word, but I'll say discipline or routine.
What?
I'm not one of those people who can do the same thing for a long time.
Oh, okay, all right.
Like how you get up at 4:59 a.m. every single day.
Okay,
all
right.
That's not
right.
me. Like sometimes I'll sleep till 10. Sometimes I'm up late. Sometimes I get up early.
But you're a ninja when it comes to getting things done.
Oh yeah,
I know your work ethic.
I definitely get things done. I just routine. I have
you like
a
to
problem
mix
with
it up. Oh, I know. You like to go to UGA and get an arts degree.
Right.
I love that. I'm going to tease you for the rest of your life on that. Arts degree from UGA. Well, at least you didn't go to Harvard and get an arts degree or Yale or something. You got to give me Joanne's number at the end. I got to talk to Joanne. Joanne, what was going on? Well, you know what? I love how it's come full circle, and I mean, you have created an amazing, amazing company. Thank you so much for listening today. I really do appreciate your time, and I hope you found today's show valuable. If you would like to receive these shows automatically to your phone or to your computer, simply go to iTunes and subscribe. After listening to several of the shows, if you're so inclined, please leave us a 5-star rating, as this helps us reach additional people and spread the message. If you're truly committed to taking your life to the next level and doing whatever it takes to become a peak performer, but something's holding you back, something is blocking your way, and you just can't seem to figure out what it is, send me an email to info@thorconklin.com, and I'd be more than happy to get on the phone with you. We'll schedule a 15-minute discovery call. No obligation, no cost. I absolutely love to hear from the listeners, and if there's something I can do to help, I'd be more than happy to do that. Also, if you found something of great interest in today's show and you want to share that with your friends and family, simply go to my Facebook page, Thor Conklin, click on the episode, hit the share button, and share it on your page. You can follow me at Twitter @ThorConklin. The website is thorconklin.com. We're constantly adding new free resources, discussing additional tricks, tips, tools, and strategies on how to be a peak performer. Remember, I try to keep these episodes short so you can listen to them during dot time, doing other things, commuting, driving, walking, working out. Decide to be a peak performer in all that you do. And until tomorrow, have an absolutely amazing day.
And that brings us to the end of another episode of the Peak Performers Podcast. Be on the lookout for part 3 with Ethan King, where he'll tell us all about his hiring process, how to be the driver of your own goals, and Sir Richard Branson. That's all on the Peak Performers Podcast. We'll see you at the top.